Hey guys, Blackout Bill here. Thanks for tuning back. We're getting to 1,000. I am crazy excited. In the meantime, if you're not there, if you're new here, subscribe. We are almost there. Tim, Seamus, and Ezekiel, I know you're out there, and I know you didn't sub yet. Hit the sub button so you can see what the heck we did to this 28 horsepower. Peace out. And we'll get you updated on the 35 project and show you where we're at with that. So stay tuned. Okay, y'all, I think we're just gonna pull it. I pulled the power head. Look how clean these charge coils are. We're gonna swap ignition systems. I'm having no spark in one on the 82. I'm thinking, and check both coils tested good. I'm thinking it's the power pack. Problem with changing the power pack is I don't have one that is up to date. I have one, but it's got an extra pin in it, and then I have this one that has an extra pin in it. That third one. So there's 3 on the top, 2 on the bottom. The one in the middle is the extra one on the newer ones. So I either have to, and even the plugs won't match up. You'll see one has a beveled edge. I mean, I could force fit it and feed it and whatever, but this is in such good shape. Let's just change charging systems. Should be simple. Let's get it done. I'm sick of waiting. So we got the coils off. We disconnected the wires. I'm 1 bolt away from getting this power pack off. We'll have this power pack, some extra wires that go to the remote system that is not on the tiller motor, so we'll have to figure that out. But the charging system has this plug, and then that one wire that don't make sense is here, and I believe it to be a ground. But we'll have to figure that out as we go, because it's yellow with a black stripe. It might even be just like a neutral safety switch. So we'll have to either ground that or figure something out there. But we got our 3 wires. That's for our rectifier. I don't think I need this box, but there's a wire that leads. Here's the question I have. So we get the power pack, right? Here's your main power to your charge coils and everything else. This one random wire that on the motor hooks here. This is the question. And this wire feeds into this loop, which goes into the box. Whether it's part of the start button or the key switch or whatever, I don't know. So we'll have to figure out what to do with this. And then, of course, we got the 2 wires that lead to a fuse. But again, that's all key remote systems that I don't know nothing about. What we are going to do with this motor is definitely take these wires to this power positive. So this motor is going to be a major donator to the 85 to the 83 downstairs. So that basically right now I'm just taking everything apart. I don't know if the weather's going to cooperate. I'm trying to get this stuff downstairs. My coils, my pack, whatever wires that are associated. We got the stator out. What else is? I got like it's got wires to this motor. I don't understand. I might borrow the fuel pump. Right now I got to get this plate off because it goes with that. But that might bolt up to the one that I got downstairs. So we're going to play with that as well. But this one also has a ring here. See this ring? It's different. It doesn't have that brown ring. It's got this thrust washer. So I might have to borrow that plate. This is all new to me, guys. You're following along just as I'm figuring it out. So let's see if we can get it done. Okay, Update City here. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to swap it. We're going to swap it. I put the old one together. The stator I think is fine. I'm getting resistance out of there. I'm showing good 2 coils, but I'm showing a bad power pack. I'm showing a bad power pack, but I got spark on one cylinder, not on the other. Now I've done a couple tests to check certain functions. So for instance, I disconnected a wire to make sure it wasn't the kill switch. I disconnected another ground to make sure it wasn't a bad ground. I'm still getting spark in everything but the top cylinder. So that being said, instead I want to check, in order to check the power pack, I need to put a new power pack on. Now I have one from the 9.9, the red one, that I think is good, but it's too new. It's got a 3rd prong. I got one off the parts motor, the 28 horsepower out there I could put on, but that wiring is different. So instead of getting a brand new power pack on eBay, let's change it out. Let's switch it. This one looks in excellent shape. So it's already on. I just got to install my bolts. Basically, all I did was I popped the whole plate assembly off the other motor. It bolts right up to this block. I saved this ring. There's a ring here, and it's already greased up and pretty. And we're going to bolt this plate to this plate. We're going to rewire our rectifier up. We have to plug our plugs in. We have to rehook up our grounds, find out where the hell they go. And then we can put our new coils on, and it's the newer style coils on that 93. So it's got the orange wires with a cap, and they look to be in okay shape. we're just going to install it and go from there. See if we can get spark on this system. If we don't, best case scenario is at least I can get a newer set of coils to replace these, and we'll be in business. That being said, let's put it together, and all I got to do is put some, we're going to attach these bolts here and figure out our wiring here. Here's the old coils, which are good. They're testing good. I'm getting good ohms resistance on those, so they're not bad coils, and I don't think that was my spark issue, but just to get those coils to work with anything that I already have is not happening. So, that being said, let's hook this stator up to the newer system so we can put the power pack here. My biggest concern is figuring out where the grounds go. And then I also took the wiring out for the battery cables because I stripped the rubber off to the ends, and it's just bad burnt copper. So, well, again, it's 28 horsepower motor. Will be a big donor motor in the biggest way. And we have this stator. We have the starter here that's already connected, and we'll go from there. So we're trying to get spark on the 35 horsepower motor. Stick with me. I know it's a process. I know I'm talking more than I'm doing, but I appreciate it, y'all. So let's get it done. It's kind of fun. Okay, let's hook up this thing to this plate. There's a couple bolts that match up. Oh, I also want to wrap my wires while I'm here. So we got the 3 yellow wires that go to the rectifier. Those go down this way. I think. I'm not good with wiring, guys. You know my channel. I do a lot of the older style motors. It's just so much simpler. I'm just not good with this kind of stuff. But times are a-changing, and I'm trying to get that dang boat a good motor. So that is what it is. Now this wire will do is oh shit. Actually, here, yeah. This plate is in this general area. Okay, so start here. Okay, so it's a little tricky trying to remember how this goes. But what I did was I left the bolts where they were on the old motor. So I know for a fact that this bolt screws into the plate, this bolt screws into the plate, this bolt screws into the plate. So that being said, I can line up the holes that match where those bolts are. Because there's some extra ones here, and it's tough to tell which one goes where. But that being said, let's get the first one in. And guys, this is all to check for spark. So I left the bolts in the old motor just because I wasn't there's a lot of holes here, and I don't know how they're supposed to line up yet. That being said, I left the bolts in the stator plate so that I know exactly where the bolt holes are supposed to line up. Because there's some extra spots here for extra bolts. Now, all of this, guys, is just to get spark. I still don't know if this outboard has good compression. I don't know if it has that rod knock. I don't know much about the motor. So I'm doing a lot of work. I'm gambling a lot, basically. If you get a motor like this that's in this bad of shape, use it as a parts motor. Now, the idea was when I bought the motor that I'm using the parts on for this motor was that this motor was bad of shape, that maybe I could put the parts from this onto that one. But the other one also has a major flaw in it. So this one, as bad as it is, it's just my, it's my best option for success. And yeah, I could put everything together and something could be wrong. But again, we're not here for. We're having fun, fixing motors. We're having fun. When it stops being fun, stop doing it. You know what I mean? In any case, so I'm just putting my plate together here with the bolts, lining them up. I started to route my wires unsuccessfully. I really don't know the best way to go about it. Again, another reason why I just like the simpler motors. I'm not a good wire router. I'm not a good wire figure outer. I don't know crap from my elbow when it comes to grounds. But I like learning. I do like learning. So that being said, tighten this up. And what we can do in the meantime, oh god, this is in the right size socket. Yeah, it's coming off. What we can do in the meantime is try to hook up our connection so we can test for spark. Let's see if this thing's got spark. And then once we know we got spark, then we can test for compression. Actually, you probably should test for compression first. Why am I not testing for compression first? That's probably what most of y'all are wondering. And the answer to that is, well, one, I'm an idiot. Y'all know that by now. The answer to that is, this motor doesn't have a pull start. Can I mount a pull start? Sure. But I have the starter hooked up and ready to go, and I have a battery. So if I can get the electrical connections out of the way, I can hook the starter to the flywheel and use the starter to test for compression. That's why I didn't do compression first. So yeah, again, could I possibly be screwing myself in the long run? Of course. But yeah, it is what it is, guys. Okay, so our plate is connected here. We have our wobbly hooker-upper there. We have the... Oh, I left it. This is the hardest part of the whole thing. I have the old assembly still attached. This spring is so hard to get into this... Not that one, the other one. It's so hard to get this hooked up into this thing. It's a bad angle. I think I showed it before. I think I have it on video. It's literally the worst part, is getting this hook onto this hole. Like, you'd think maybe there was a way to put it in and rotate it, but there's just not. You basically have to bend here. Oh, that's what it is. That's right. I lift it up. I'm basically bending it with the possible failure of breaking it to get it at the best angle so we can just squeeze it there. And it just keeps popping out. If it doesn't pop out, you're going to pinch something in your finger, your ego. There she go. Okay, now that one was relatively simple, but still hurt going in any case. Oh, I forgot my washer. Wobbly washer, and then this hook set thing. And the goal is to get, obviously, this sucker on the water before New Jersey temperatures set in. Well, we should have plenty of nice days before October to get there. Now, oh boy, see, now we're locked. And that's a problem. So we screwed it in place there. It won't spin. Okay. That must be what the spacers are for. Let's see. Here's the conversion we're trying to figure out, right? So we put everything together. Every time we tighten on the plate, it won't rotate. So I did find out that there's spacers underneath the mag plate. Now this mag plate is a lot cleaner than I had originally thought. It's not that clean, but it's greased up and ready to go. So the tricky part is juggling to keep the spacers on while figuring out the bolt patterns, and it's not easy. So I'm going to take another stab at it here. I think with a little love from the outboard gods. Because the plane... I mean, like, I know you guys know what I'm talking about when you're like this close over the edge and the thing happened, you just want to... So, everything's fighting you. This outer ring wants to go where it wants to go. The spacers don't want to stay. And the bolts want to keep falling out upside down when you're trying to juggle. So, like I said, it's tricky. If somebody knows a better way to do it, I mean, the only way I think of is... See, now I'm missing the spacer because it must have hit the pit of misery. Oh, no. Yeah, this is... I mean, it's beyond frustrating. It's at this point, it's... move to Fiji. Frustrating. It's nice when you grease everything up and then you tighten it all together and you hear the crunching of the crap that's in there from all the work you've been doing. Alright, I can say hi to the fam. But for the record, now it's spinning nice. Tighten everything down, and we actually have, I don't know why the spring is so tight, but it's functioning. Use the throttle if we want. Yep. Beautiful. Okay, boys and girls. We can link in sync later. That's our mag plate installed. Plug everything up and pray for spark. Guys, countdown to 1,000 starts now. 9:10, 9:11, 9. We're getting there. Thanks for enduring me. We'll see you in the next video.